Shalom, shalom. Giving honor and praise to the Most High and His Son Yahweh Shai. We the Battle Axes of the Most High, man. Another piece of Tabernacle. All praise to the Most High, man. Get the Most High God a hand, man. All praise to the Most High, man, for allowing us to be in another Tabernacle, man. There's a lot of work to go into the Tabernacle, man. It's a lot of preparing, a lot of over-preparing, a lot of stuff that you can bring, a lot of over stuff you can bring. But most of all, the tabernacle is set up, man, to make is to be joyful, to be joyful to the Most High, man. As we're gonna go into this class today, we're gonna kind of show you that the tabernacle is a symbolic thing because you know it's got the Feast of Tabernacles, but before the Feast of Tabernacles was what they had the Ark of the Covenant, they had the Tabernacle of Congregations, and it's a thing that in the Tabernacle congregation, the Most High with us. So guess what? Each Feast of Tabernacles, what you think the Most High God is gonna be with? He's gonna be with us. So we're gonna have to wrap our minds around that. The Feast of Tabernacles is a heavy, heavy thing, and it's gonna go into a couple of precepts to kind of prove these things today. First precept we're going into is Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. It's a common precept, but it's a good precept. Got that wind blowing good today. All praises. Brothers, sisters, hold your head wraps. Brothers, hold your papers. Benaniyah, hold your scroll for real. You got to hold them scrolls. You have everybody out here picking this Bible up. Did it? Yeah, for real. You know, we're going to put Benaniyah on blast. You know, he was out there teaching at Fort Worth. He had the people that he was teaching from picking up his Bible. He stopped. He said, hey, y'all get my Bible. Boy, and I'm surprised everybody ran over and got it, too. I was like, dang, they finna help him out. Yeah, read that out.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime
Read.
were written for our learning.
Guess what? This including the high holy days. This includes your whole life, man. All these things is written for our learning, man. When we go through things in our marriages, in our relationships, dealing with brothers and sisters, guess what, man? These things are written for our learning because we need to learn how to deal with each other, man. That's why the Most High God put congregations together. That's why he put high holy days together. Because guess what? He want to see that we can learn together and we can enjoy ourselves together too, right? Read.
That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
So at the end of the day, bless you, at the end of the day, through any discrepancy we have, through all the situations and problems that we have, guess what, man? These scriptures are supposed to give us comfort. That means if we have a problem, we go to the scriptures. That's the end all, be all.
That's right.
Y'all get that, brothers and sisters? Jump down to verse 13 now.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 13. Now the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace
Read.
in believing that ye may abound in hope.
That we may abound in hope, read.
Through the power of the Holy Ghost.
So guess what, man? This ain't nothing but a holy thing, man. So these spirits, guess what? We want the God of hope, man, to fill us up, man. To show us what we need to go and show where we can go, man. This is our duty, man. This is our service to the Most High God, man. So while we looking at the tabernacles and looking at all these high holy days that the Most High God have for us, and all the learning that this Bible can give us, we got to make sure that we stay grounded no matter what. I know sometimes we look at the smaller picture, but in every high holy day, brothers and sisters should learn something. Pull something out of this high holy day. Guess what? Out of the scriptures and the things that you see. It's something that you need to grow from, man. This is a tender plant that the Most High God is growing, man. Right? Let's go to Psalms chapter 100, verse 2. I'm going out of order for what I had, but I want to bring this out first. Psalms, the book of Psalms, chapter 100, verse 2. Verse 1. You start verse 1 now.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 100 and verse 1. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord.
Read.
All ye lands.
All ye lands, man. It's going into, guess what? Every nation is going to have to cleave, but guess what, man? This is going into Israel, but watch this, though. Read.
Verse 2. Serve the Lord with gladness.
With what?
With gladness.
So guess what? We in the tabernacles, man. We in the high holy days. So every brother and sister should be in gladness, man. Right? Read.
Come before his presence with singing.
Come before his presence with singing, man. Read.
Know ye that the Lord, he is God.
He is God, right? Read.
It is he that had made us.
Guess what? He the one that made us, man. So we got to keep in, like Ox said, we got to keep in mind whose day this is, right? And who we belong to, right? Read.
And not we ourselves. We are his people.
We are what?
We are his people.
Because guess what? We God's people, man. And we got to show the world that we God's people, man. We got to show each other that, guess what? You God's people, man. That's our job, man. Right? Read.
And the sheep of his pasture.
And we the sheep of his pasture, man. Read on.
Enter into his gates with thanksgiving.
With what?
With thanksgiving.
Because we got to keep giving the Most High God his praise, man. The thing is, I'm asking brothers and sisters, when y'all get up in the morning, what the first thing y'all do? Do y'all grab y'all phone or y'all get the Most High God a little praise, man? We ain't got the front and stunt. Some people really do that. The first thing they do is they grab their phone. No, man. If you really give all praise to the Most High God, guess what? The Most High God wants your first. He don't want the last, man. He don't want the in-between. He want first. And we got to make sure we give him his thanks and his praise, man, at all time, man. Right? Read.
And into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him and bless his name.
So the Lord said, be thankful unto him, man. And we got to bless his holy name, man. This is how our God set us up to be. Because guess what? All the nations see us, man, and they can, guess what? Why you think there's so many Edomites riding around here trying to see what the hell we're doing, man? Because they never see this many Negroes together, and it ain't no fighting going on. It ain't no crazy stuff going on. It ain't no weed smoking. They ain't seeing none of that. But guess what? They seeing people, guess what? Having a good time. Guess what? They see us out here, and I guarantee you they watching us right now, too. We don't know what they could have a drone or something anywhere. They watching. They like, dang, these people really out here reading the Bible. In the middle of, they supposed to be camping. They out here reading the Bible. Yes, we going to read it. Right? All praise to the Most High for allowing us to read it, too. Right? Let's go to Nehemiah chapter 8. Nehemiah chapter 8. Come on, fly. Shoot, fly. Don't bother us. Rebuke you, fly. Yeah, Nehemiah chapter 8. Start at verse 10. Fly, you touch my head one more time now. Talk to that nigga. Right there. Give it. Let's go.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 8 and verse 10.
Read.
Then he said unto them, go your way.
He said, go your way, read.
Eat the fat, and drink the sweet, and send portions unto them for whom nothing is prepared. For this day is holy unto our Lord.
So guess what, man? This is going into the Sabbath day, but this is also going, the Sabbath day is symbolic for what? All the high holy days. All the high holy days fall up under the Sabbath. But why did he say eat the fat and drink the sweet? Why did he say that? Let's go get why he said it. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, man. This is why he's saying this. Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse, what's that? That's 7, I think. Yeah. Read that.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9 and verse 7. Go thy way, eat thy bread. With joy.
With what?
With joy.
So we supposed to be eating our bread with joy, man, right? Read.
And drink thy wine with a merry heart.
And we supposed to be drinking our wine with a merry heart, man. Read.
For God now accepted thy word.
So read that again.
For For God now accepted thy works.
So guess what, man? The Most High God accepting our works, man. He's seeing that we keeping the commandments, man. That's why he allowing us to keep, to keep his high holy days, to guess what? For the Lord to hear our prayers. But guess what? Even when we jump over to Ecclesiastes 8 and 15, but the Lord said, it's nothing greater. What's greater than to eat and drink and to be merry? Because everybody want to party. We don't give a damn who you is. Everybody want to party. Every nation want to party. Right? Jump over to Ecclesiastes 8 and 15 right quick, Op.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8 and verse 15. Then I commanded mirth, because a man had no better thing under the sun than to eat and to drink and to be merry.
So he said there's no better thing up under the earth to do that. What you think Esau do? They like to throw their parties and their Christmas parties and all these different. Why do they like to party? Guess what? Israel like to party too. Guess what? We have a feast day, boy, but we can have a lot of people show up. Boy, when it's time to come learn, don't nobody really want to show up. That's just how it is, man. Everybody want to party. Everybody, man. That's why the Lord said ain't nothing better than to eat and drink to be merry, right? Read.
For that shall abide with him of his labor the days of his life, which God giveth him under the sun.
So guess what? Up under the sun, guess what? That's what we going to be wanting to do. we going to be wanting to have a good time, man. But we want to do this thing in righteousness, though, right?
And that's right. And brothers and sisters know the etiquettes on those things. Like we said, hey, if you ain't going to be drinking like that in front of your house, don't drink like that in front of your brothers and sisters.
For real.
If you ain't going to be dancing like that in front of Christ, don't dance like that here. You know, it's nothing wrong with getting your little boogie on, you know, but you want to make sure that you keep those things conservative and make sure you keep them spiritual, you know, especially with our conversations, the way we treat one another, our mannerisms. That's something that brothers and sisters must learn coming into the truth. And the Bible teaches us these things when you read the book of Ecclesiastes or the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus. Go ahead,
Because let's go back to Nehemiah, man, chapter 8. Nehemiah chapter 8, you think we read verse 10. We're going to read it again.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 8 and verse 10. Then he said unto them, go your way, eat the fat, and drink the sweet.
He said, and drink the sweet, read.
And send portions unto them for whom nothing is prepared.
Read.
For this day is holy unto our Lord. Neither be ye sorry, for the joy of the Lord is your strength.
So guess what? The joy of the Lord is our strength. That's why it's got to be a joyful thing, man. Because this is where our strength lies, man. This is how our strength lies, man. We praising our God. Giving him the glory, man. Because guess what? There's a lot of people really don't give the Most High God his glory. We take a lot from the Most High God like we the one that's doing it. But he's the one but the Most High God is the one that's allowing it, man. Right? Let's keep reading.
Verse 11. So the Levites stilled all the people.
Read.
Saying, hold your peace.
Saying what?
Hold your peace.
Read.
For the day is holy. Neither be ye grieved.
So guess what, man? We gonna be out here. We gonna have a good time, man. And guess what, brothers and sisters? Ain't none of this woe is me and this all this. No, hold your peace. This is a joyful time for the Most High God, man. Guess what? All them troubles and the problems, we gonna put them things aside, man. And have a joy and be in joy with the Most High God. Be at peace with the Most High God, right? Read on.
Verse 12. And all the people went their way to eat and to drink, and to send portions, and to make great mirth, because they had understood the words that were declared unto them.
So guess what, man? That's why we reading, trying to break down these scriptures to give more comprehension of what the Bible's supposed to be telling us what we're supposed to be doing, man.
That's right.
So we can hear these words and have a good understanding of what the Lord giving us, man. Guess what? All these things is set up because the Lord wants us to have a good time, right? This is what it's all about, man. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 12 right quick. Hebrews chapter 12 and Hebrews chapter 12 and verse Verse number 2.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12 and verse 2.
Read.
Looking unto Yahushua, the author and finisher of our faith,
Read.
who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross.
So guess what, man? That's why we ain't doing this for vain thing, man. This is not a vain thing, man. Christ did this, man, so we can be able to have a good time, man. He did this for us so the Lord can hear our prayers again. So we can become his people again. So guess what? We can be raised up and brought from the lower state that we're at right now and be right back on high again, man. Ruling the world as he commanded us to rule again, man. That's why it's a pivotal thing that we keep this joy in our heart on these feast days, man. Because guess what? Christ did this so we can be right back in the presence of the Most High God again, man. Right? And so that's why when you see people come up against Christ, guess what? That's why you see them get destroyed, man. Can't nobody come up against the Most High God's Son and think they gonna survive in this truth, man. Right? Read that again, now.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 12 and verse 2. Looking unto Yahushua, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross.
He endured the cross, man, for us, man. Read.
Despising the shame.
Read on.
And is set down at the right hand of the throne of God.
So guess what, man? After he did the work for us, the Most High God was pleased with that. And we know that how the Most High God was pleased through what precept, brothers?
Who got a precept?
Who got a precept to showing that what the Most High God was pleased with Christ after he endured this. No brothers should have some precepts, man. Guess what, man? I know this has been a slow week for people who've been reading this week. For some people, anyway. They don't know. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 53. Y'all brothers should have knew that. No brothers just in here. We're going to start calling on them sisters, brother, act like they don't even know. Isaiah chapter 53 and verse 10.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 53 and verse 10. Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him.
So guess what, man? That's how he endured it. But guess what? It pleased the Most High to bruise Christ, man, for us, man. Right, read.
He had put him to grief.
And he had put him to grief, man. He buried all shame, just like the precept said in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 2. Right, read.
When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin.
Read.
He shall see his seed. He shall prolong his days. And the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand.
So this is what this is going into, man. The Most High God, guess what? It pleased the Most High God. Like, dang, my son endured that, man. He did a good job, man, because he really loved his people. And this is how we supposed to be too, man. A person that really, really loves a man or a woman that really love their people, man. Go hard for their people, man. And that's how we should be going hard for the Most High, man, the same way. We should be going hard for him, man. Right? You got something?
Yeah, you know, we always pull up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like we say, our main precept, man. Like we said, we just not in it for ourselves. You know, and a lot of times, like we always say, something I love to personally touch on, man, shaking that selfish spirit amongst us that dwell in some of brothers and sisters, even in the truth, man. Like we say, you want to make sure that you're checking your spirit, making sure you being hospitable to brothers and sisters, making sure you out here having a good time with one another, man. In that book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 17. Yeah, I can already know what I want. And brothers and sisters should already know the precept to it, too. You get that, read that out.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 33, verse 17. Consider that I labor not for myself only.
So when we in this walk, when we're partaking in these things, guess what? It's just not for ourselves. It's for brothers and sisters that might see, brothers and sisters coming together, even when sisters and brothers post it on Facebook. You know, that's just not for ourselves. That's for us to be a light to our people, man. To guess what? To let them see how when we come back in our normal state, how it should be, man. Our royalty. Read on up.
Consider that I labor not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning.
So we're not only doing this for them, but we're doing it for all our people, man, that seek learning, that seek the true understanding of the Bible. Because a lot of our people, they hunger for the true understanding, man. They getting tired of being whitewashed with images of Cedric Beaujeu. You open up the Bible, now we reading it with new eyes and hearing it with new ears, man. And like we say, we want to make sure that we practice these righteous rehearsals on a spiritual type level. And like we said, brothers and sisters need counseling. Even out here, that's what it's for, man. To guess what? Get brothers and sisters in the right spirit so that they may stay in the right spirit. Like we say, we got brothers and sisters from out of town, you know, want to show brotherly love. That's what our job is as a nation of people, man. Go ahead, Doc.
Let's get another precept on that. Romans 15:1. It's another precept to Sirach 33:17 if you don't got it.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
We then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak.
So that's what building a nation is. That's what it's about. Because I always say we're only as strong as our weakest link. So we that are strong should be building up the weaker. You know what I'm saying? No matter if it's the husband building up the wife, no matter if it's the brother that been in the truth 5 years building up the new brother that just came in. But we are the people to build up the strong, the weak to the strong, right? Read on.
And not to please ourselves.
And not to pleasing ourselves, because this labor that we're doing is not to please us. It's to please the Most High God. Read verse 2.
Verse 2. Let every one of us please his neighbor.
Nah, let some of us.
Let every one of us please his neighbor.
So the older sisters should what? Be showing the younger sisters, right? How to be wives, man. How to love their own husbands. This is in everything we do. When the older sisters are up there, preparing the food, doing these things. These are the things you need to tell. Hey, come look at me do this. Watch this. Learn this, right? Brothers, the same way. You have to building the fire, whatever the case may be, on the grill. Hey, come look at this. These are things, characteristics that we need for the nation, right? Read verse 2 again.
Verse 2 from the top. Let every one of us please his neighbor.
For what?
For his good to edification.
Nah, for talking.
For his good to edification.
And we pleasing our neighbor for the good of the edification, man. To what? Brothers and sisters to gain knowledge, man. So this is a precept of Sirach 33:17.
We all know who their neighbor is. Who the neighbors are? What's precept? Real quick. Who your neighbor?
Neighbor.
Leviticus 19. What's the other one? Ezekiel 11 and 15 is showing you who your neighbor is. All nations are not our neighbors. Talking about the neighbors of your people, of your tribes. Go ahead, Doc.
Let's go to Leviticus chapter 23, verse 34. So we already know what we're going into now. Brothers and sisters should know what we're going into now when we're going to Leviticus chapter 23. What is Leviticus chapter 23 consist of? Okay. So we know what we're going into right now. Guess what, man? The Lord gave us a time to affliction so we can have what? Joy. Right? We with our affliction. When was our affliction? Don't think too heavy. Don't think too heavy. Don't think too heavy. The Day of Atonement, a couple days ago, he gave us our affliction so we can have joy on the what? The tabernacle, man. Right? Said, don't think too heavy. Y'all, I know y'all think it deep. Nah. But go ahead, Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 34.
This is the book of Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 34. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of this 7th month shall be the feast of tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord.
For 7 days unto the Lord. So we on day number what in tabernacle?
Any brother know? When did tabernacle start? Sunday. Oh, praise. So
Sunday.
What's
What
today?
today is?
Okay.
So if it starts Sunday is what day? What today is?
Brother scared after.
They scared. What? Sunday is what day? What did we tell people on the streets what Sunday is? What's the 7th day of the week? What today is?
Because how many days are we supposed to keep the tabernacle?
What did we just read?
But exactly.
That's right.
Really, it's 8 days.
That's right. 8 days.
Because the first day and the last day is a what?
That's
Holy Convocation.
Oh, that's right. So we supposed to go from Sunday
To Sunday.
to Sunday.
to Sunday, man.
Sunday to Sunday.
He just said Sunday to Monday. He did, man. He did. He did, man. Let's go. Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 34.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse 34. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of this 7th month shall be the feast of tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord.
Read.
On the first day shall be in holy convocation.
First day is going to be a holy convocation, which we had, read.
Ye shall do no servile work therein. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
So guess what? We had 7 straight days of tabernacle. We'll read the next part of the verse.
On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation unto you.
So how many days is the tabernacle again? 8 days, right? Read.
And ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein.
Read.
Verse 37. These are the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord, a burnt offering and a meat offering, a sacrifice and a drink offerings, everything upon his day.
So at this time, guess what? When they were sacrificing, guess what? We had to make a sacrifice. But what is the sacrifice now? Precept with the sacrifice. Sirach, what?
Oh, praise.
Big con on that.
Sis, y'all can take the seats for the sisters that's helping on the kitchen. Sister Olivia, you and the boys, y'all come over and sit down. Y'all can get my wife chair, any chair that's open.
Any chairs open, man. Y'all take the chairs that's open.
Yeah, just take them. You all right, sis.
Heck yeah. Let's jump down to verse 40.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse 40. And ye shall take you on the first day of the boughs of goodly trees.
Read.
Branches of palm trees. So like your branches of palm trees and the boughs of fig trees and willows of the brook. And ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days.
7 days, read on.
And ye shall keep it a feast unto the Lord 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. Ye shall celebrate it in the 7th month.
So guess what, man? Hey, we got to keep the tabernacles in the 7th month, man. Not the 6th month, not the 8th month, in the 7th month.
That's right.
Brothers can't pick and choose when they want to do a tabernacle, man. It's got to be what the scripture said, man. Right, read.
Verse 42, ye shall dwell in booths.
So guess what? Booths stands for what, brothers? Tents, man. That's why tabernacles is called the Feast of Booths. Right, read.
Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths.
He said, all that was Israelites born, not the strangers, is gonna be coming among us. No. Read that next part again, man.
Verse 42, ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites shall dwell in booths.
You skip.
Salakia. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths.
All that were Israelites born shall dwell in booths, man. Plain upon tables, man.
That's
Read.
Right. Verse 43, that your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths.
So the Lord said, we got to have this because he want to show us that, no, I made him to dwell in booths, man. That's what the Lord even talk about Jacob is a plain man, what?
Dwelling in tents.
Dwelling in tents. Right? Read.
When I brought them out of the land of Egypt, I am the Lord your God.
Read.
Verse 44. And Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feast of the Lord.
So this is what Moses was laying the law down, telling them, this is what we gonna do. This is part of our sacrifice for the Most High God. This is what we gonna do, and this is what the Lord say. There ain't nowhere else around it. You got something?
Yeah, and like I said, even like Ak is going into, I know we touch on these things, but we can never touch on it enough to really kind of put it into your spirit, the significance of these things. Like I say, if we doing this right now, what you think he's going to take us out of? Remember, this is spiritual Egypt. He's going to take us what? Back into the wilderness. So we'll be doing these same things on a higher level. So like we said, brothers and sisters want to make sure that they prepare themselves to do these things, man. It's very, very important, man. You put your time, put your effort. Like we say, when you planning them family trips, hey, plan for the Most High God High Holy Days, man. We know how much the time and effort brothers and sisters put into making a family trip, man. Guess what? Keeping God's High Holy Days is on a much more higher level than that, man. And you got to make it your first priority, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
And Boost was a temporary housing.
That's right.
Reason. The fact of the matter, the Most High knew we was gonna be going from captivity to captivity. It was like a nomadic people, so he had us dwelling in booths. Because what does booth do? You pack them up and go to your next land, and that's what we were. That's why he had us dwelling in booths. Jacob was like that. We ain't never supposed to be getting so comfortable in the land that's not ours. He never built us to even stay there. He give us temporary housing in America, the boost that we need, because this not our land. We just here temporarily. So don't get so comfortable. I got me this house. Forget that house. I got a house too, but hey, watch that house. I want to go home.
That's right. Let's get some more on that. Let's go to Nehemiah. I know y'all should have this precept, Nehemiah 8 and 14. Just read down and show you the understanding of the boots.
This the book of This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 8 and verse 14.
Bring it out.
And they found written in the law.
Read where?
And they found written in the law.
Read on.
Which the Lord had commanded by Moses. That the children of Israel should dwell in booths in the feast of the 7th month.
Read on.
And that they should publish and proclaim in all their cities and in Jerusalem, saying, go forth unto the mount, and go fetch olive branch, and pine branches, and myrtle branches, and palm branches, and branches of fig trees to make boots, as it is written.
So that's going into like verse 40, where get the goodly boughs, the trees. Read on.
Verse 16. So the people went forth and brought them and made themselves boots, every one upon the roof of his house.
Read on.
And in their courts, and in the courts of the house of God, and in the streets of the water gate, and in the street of the gate of Ephraim.
So notice that back in the, I'm telling y'all, man, we got it made, man. How did they make their tents back then? They had to physically make them things,
That's right,
man. I was over here complaining the other day. I just knew I bought me a pop-up tent, man. I'm telling y'all, my countenance was failing, man, when I got here and seen there wasn't no pop-up tent, man. But after me and the brothers started doing it, man, we had a good time laughing and joking. That's what it's for, man. We got it made, though. We actually had to make our tents, man, and that's what we're going to do. That's what we said. Always understand the spiritual aspect of this thing, man, right? Read on now.
Verse 17. And all the congregation of them that will come again out of the captivity made boots.
You see that? Out of the captivity. Like I said, he knew he was going to be going, what? Captivity to captivity.
That's right.
Right? So he said, out of the captivity, they made boots. Like you said, temporary, man.
Hold up, man. That's a heavy point. Because like we said, why do we go into captivity? Complaining about unnecessary things. The grass is high.
Mama around.
The bugs. You want a bug to bite you, or do you want your house shot to bite you behind?
Take the blood.
The bug
these are things that we got to think upon,
that's
man.
That's right.
Go ahead, on
that. Read on.
And sat under boots. For since under the boots, for since the days of Jeshua, the son of Nun, unto that day had not the children of Israel done so. And there was very great gladness.
And there was what?
And there was very great gladness.
See, our name of the class is, man, a joyful noise, man. Ain't no need for any brother or sister to be out here upset, complaining, right? You know what I'm saying? I ain't heard them babies cry a lot unless they was hungry or had to to get that mess off of them, right? So this is a joyful day, a joyful week. Read on.
Verse 18. Also day by day.
What?
Also day by day.
Day by day. What was we doing?
From the first day
Uh-huh.
until the last day.
From the first day until the last day. Read on.
He read in the book of the law of God.
Uh-huh.
And kept the feast 7 days.
Uh-huh.
And on the 8th day was a solemn assembly according to the manner.
According to the manner, man, right? It's like when you go back to Deuteronomy, man. Salaki, Genesis. Our mannerisms were totally different. We was at the Walmart the other day. Seen the Edomite, he just walking all hanky doody, just, you know what I'm saying? We walking, we got a whole different walk. You know what I'm saying? It's just our mannerisms. We're totally different people, man. Hanky doody, that's what they say. It's all hanky doody. Say you're cooking with something right there, brother. So we don't deal like that. But this is our manner, man, to be joyous and glad for the whole entire week, man. And this thing should what? Bring gladness into what? Next week. And next week. And next week. This is what this do. Like we said, always the spiritual action. Go ahead.
Big con on it. And man, we sure was talking about this dude, man. You can just look at Esau, man. They so weak. I look at some of them, I say, they get lick off me, they won. Dang, he get lick off me. We get into a fight, he get lick off me, he won.
He won the fight, man.
So weak, man. They just walk around. They just walk around all joy.
Hanky doodle.
That's okay, Esau. You had your way right now anyway. Let's go to the book of Tobit, chapter 13. Book of Tobit, chapter 13 and verse 9. Start at verse 9.
This is the book of Tobit, chapter 13 and verse 9. O Jerusalem, the holy city, he will scourge thee from thy children's works, and will have mercy again on the sons of the righteous.
Read.
Give praise to the Lord.
Give praise to the Lord. Read on.
For he is good.
And
praise to the everlasting King, that his tabernacle may be builded in thee again with joy.
So guess what, man? This is the time, man. Guess what? And we know it's a future prophecy, but we also know this is the time that the tabernacle may be built in thee.
That's right.
If y'all see how the scriptures is read, man, we gotta let the tabernacle that's built up in us, man. This is time to build this building up again, man. Build this structure up right here again with joyfulness and gladness of heart, man. We ain't just laboring just to not to get this understanding. No, we got to build this person that you look in the mirror every day. We got to start building that person up again, man.
That's right.
Whatever you going through, the hardships, all that, we got to start picking that person up, man. Like you say, I know what it say. Mary says she look in the mirror and say, "Good morning, gorgeous." Now we got to look in the mirror and say, "Hey, brother, I know you can keep these commandments today, man. You ain't get it right yesterday, but you need to try to get it right today." Right? Read verse 10 again, man. I hope this resonates with brothers and sisters, man. Read this.
This is the book of Tobit, chapter 13 and verse 10. Give praise to the Lord, for he is good, and praise to the everlasting King, that is, that his tabernacle may be builded in thee again.
So guess what? This is why Christ died, man. So he can build that tabernacle up in us again, man, right? Read.
With joy.
With what?
With joy.
With joy. Watch you say it again, man. Read.
And let them make joy for their and joy for their in thee those that are captives. And love in thee forever. Those that are miserable.
Those that are miserable. So the things that, like you say, that we going through. Guess what? We shake these things off, man. Because we want this tabernacle that the Lord building up in us to be raised up, man. To what? To see the bigger picture on what the Lord got for us, man. I know sometimes it's hard for us, but guess what? Even looking at all our forefathers, they kept the tabernacles. And guess what they had? Joyfulness and gladness of heart, man. Right?
Maccabees.
Yeah. Let's go to who it was Second Chronicles chapter 8. Yeah. Second Chronicles chapter 8. And verse 12.
The book of Second Chronicles, chapter 8, verse 12.
Now this is King Solomon keeping the tabernacles, man. Right? Watch this read.
Then Solomon offered burnt offerings unto the Lord on the altar of the Lord, which he had built before the porch.
So guess what, man? Solomon was offering offerings up to the Most High God, but this was back when we were sacrificing, right? Read on.
Verse 13, even after a certain rate every day, offering according to the commandment of Moses on the Sabbaths.
On the Sabbath, read.
And on the new moon.
And on the new moon,
and
man.
on the solemn feast.
And on the solemn feast, man, read.
3 times in the year, even in the feast of unleavened bread.
Read.
And in the feast of weeks. And in the feast of tabernacles.
So guess what, man? Solomon, guess what, was keeping the tabernacles too, man. Right? And why would he say it 3 times a year? Why would he say it? What precept? Y'all come on, man. Y'all know how we get down, man. Where's he getting that from? Deuteronomy 16:16. Let's go there right quick, man. The brothers will act like they sure a little bit.
I say, ain't it? Is it? Deuteronomy 16:16. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 16, verse 16. 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord thy God in the places which he shall choose, in the feast of unleavened bread, and in the feast of weeks, and in the feast of tabernacles, and they shall not appear before the Lord empty.
And we should not appear before the Lord empty. What does that mean, brothers? What does we don't supposed to appear for the Lord empty? What does that mean? Bring some. What else it mean? Putting your what? Putting your brick in, right? How do we know that?
Let's read 17. Because this is why I got you real quick. Every man.
No, go ahead. No, real quick.
Okay.
I'm glad that Ox said that, putting your brick in.
That's right.
Like I said, it ain't dependent upon 1 or 2 brothers to help do everything, and it's not dependent upon 1 or 2 sisters to do everything. Like I said, we all in this thing together. Let's be all in this thing together. You know, that's what real unity and nation building is all about. You think you're going to get to the kingdom, it's just going to be 1 or 2 brothers doing all the work? No. Like we say, brothers and sisters have to learn to take the initiative. If you see things that need to be done, you don't have to come to captains all the time to be micromanaged, man. Come on. We adults out here in that level. Go ahead.
Verse 17. Every man shall give as he is able. So when it's talking about what give, it's talking about your works, man. If you can give a little more, if somebody can get on the grill, I got you, Cat. I got the grill today. It's give as you able, man. That's right. Oh, I see your sister. We're going to help you put up that, whatever the case may be. The work that you should put in is what you are able to do, man. And a lot of times we love to short ourselves on this work. Then we'll go to Esau job, work 12, 15-hour shifts, man.
And bust your butt there, too.
I'm talking about bust your butt, man. But when they come to do the work of the Lord, oh, man, well, you know, I'm a little tired, man. Right? So this is saying every man shall give as he is able, man. Right? Because, like you said, send them to work, man. And then we read the Most High say, if it ain't enough work, give them some more. Give us some more work. Well, you got some more cantaloupe to cut up? Well, give us some more. Right? Change this baby. Come, let's go change it. Give them some more. What you got? Well, I ain't changing them, but here, come get this one. But this is what it's saying. Every man that is able, man, get doing the work that he is able to do, man. And we know everybody right now, we pretty much in good health, man. A lot of the brothers, man. We got 2 knees, we got 2 ankles, right? Got a left foot and a right foot, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody, I don't know nobody got 2 left feet, you know what I'm saying? The right ankle on the left ankle, we ain't got that. So we are able to do more. So I always think of that.
That's right. Let's go to Sirach chapter 35 right quick.
Oh, he still looking.
It is. Let me see. What was? I know, Mac. There was when they was on the run. I think that they did it in the Castle though.
Yeah, in fact.
Yeah, we'll get it in a second though.
Yeah, but it's still, you know what I'm saying, good for edification, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get that in a second.
Sirach 35.
Yeah, Sirach chapter 35. We're gonna start at verse 1. Now this is saying when it said don't come before the Lord empty-handed. This is what this is going into, man. Read Sirach chapter 35, verse 1.
Those them keys right there. Yeah. Big con. Yep. Sirach 35, we're going to start at verse 1. And it reads, he that keepeth the law bringeth offerings enough.
Read.
He that taketh heed to the commandment offereth a peace offering.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2, he that requiteth a good turn offered. So like he that requiteth a good turn offered fine flesh. And he that giveth alms sacrificeth praise.
So guess what, man? This is going into our works, man. Physical, like I say, physical labor alms, and guess what? What we can give our substance alms too, right? Read on.
Verse 3, to depart from wickedness is a thing pleasing to the Lord.
Read on now.
And to forsake unrighteousness is a propitiation.
Verse 4 at the point.
Verse 4, thou shalt not appear empty before the Lord.
Because it's saying the same thing, Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 16 is saying, man. How we don't supposed to appear before the Lord empty-handed. Because this goes into our works, man. And us keeping the commandments and us doing the work, man.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay, yeah. Big con. Yeah.
Say that. Verse 5.
Yeah.
For all these things are to be done because of the commandments.
Read that again.
For all these things are to be done because of the commandment. Yeah. Hold on. Don't want no spider bites.
Oh, that mug right there, boy. The elements coming out, ain't it?
All praise to the Father.
Dang it.
We're going to read 35 and 5 again of Sirach. Verse 5. For all these things are to be done because of the commandments.
Guess what? The works that we do is to be done because of what? The commandments. We don't do these things because we just want to look good out here, man. Guess what? We keeping the commandments, man. There ain't no shame in our game when we keeping these commandments, right? That's how we supposed to do, because guess what? Everybody kept the commandments. Even Christ himself kept the commandments.
That's right.
Christ himself did all the laws that he could do, he did it. All the laws he's supposed to do, that means he was following the laws just like we was following the laws, right? Let's go to let me see here. What was that? What in the John, what he follow? John chapter 7. And he walked. Yeah, to go John chapter 7, verse 1. This is Christ keeping the Feast of Tabernacles, man. You know, we gon' guess what? Christians say they followers of Christ. Why they ain't doing it? Christ kept it.
Big con.
Why they ain't keeping no Feast of Tabernacles, man? Right? Because guess what? They love the Lord with their mouth. They do honor him. Right? They mouth. Guess what? Everybody mouth honor Christ. Honor the Most High. Right? Read.
The book of St. John, chapter 7, verse 1. After these things, Christ walked in Galilee, for he would not walk in Jewry, because the Jews sought to kill him.
Boy, that's a damn shame, man. The Jews, his own people sought to kill him, man. Right? But then everybody said that they followers of Christ, but guess what, man? Well, if they were teaching the same thing Christ was teaching, then why they ain't sought to kill these preachers and pastors?
Right.
They ain't sought to kill these people. Guess what, man? These preachers and pastors take their money and they'll take it again. They gonna take it tomorrow. They gonna take it next Sunday and the Sunday after that. And any Negro get in the way of that, guess what? They prayer warriors come after you. Right? Read that out.
John 7:1. After these things, Yahweh shall walk in Galilee, for he would not walk in Jewry, because the Jews sought to kill him. Now the Jews' feast of tabernacles was at hand.
So guess what, man? Christ was still keeping the tabernacles too. He knew he couldn't go to a certain place. Why? Because they was gonna try to kill him if he go over there, man. He had to use what?
Discernment.
He had discernment and wisdom, man. That's just like, man, look, the way we look at in our walk, guess what? And even to give us a better understanding during high holy days, guess what? We should be using what? Discernment. This is what it's about, using your discernment. Guess what? If you don't use discernment, guess what? Anytime in your walk during these high holy days, you better use some discernment then. This is a requirement. And a lot of time we don't think that discernment is a big deal. Discernment is dang near everything, man. Right? Watch this. Proverbs chapter 8 verse 4. Discernment is everything, man. When we look at it and we think that it's not, but guess what? Discernment can get your tail in trouble, and guess what? Discernment get your tail out of trouble too. Right? Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 4.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 4. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man.
So this is talking to the men, man. Right? Read that. Yeah, it's talking to the men, right? Let's read it.
Proverbs 8 and 4. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man. O ye simple, understand wisdom.
So he said, understand wisdom, read.
And ye fools, be ye of an understanding heart.
Read.
Hear, for I will speak of excellent things, and the opening of my lips shall be right things.
So guess what, man? This is how we supposed to be speaking. This is how we supposed to be talking. Guess what? He said, even the fool in this case, start opening up your ears for understanding. Make things clear so you can be able to judge things in the right manner, right? Watch this, read on.
Verse 7. For my mouth shall speak truth, and wickedness is an abomination to my lips.
Read.
All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing forward or perverse in them.
That's right, man. Read.
They are all plain to him that understand it.
So guess what? It said, plain to them that understand it, man. Read.
And right to them that find knowledge.
So guess what, man? This is how we supposed to be talking. This is how our understanding is supposed to be, man. Our discernment is supposed to be strong, man. Our discernment is supposed to go take us further than we can imagine, man. Right? It's supposed to, guess what? Just like when we read these scriptures, it should be plain to us, but it's supposed to be a what? A stumbling block to the what? To the wicked, man. Right? What precept about? Big con. Big con. And the brother should have that precept down right beside that thing too. Right? Psalms chapter I don't know if I wanted that. Psalm chapter 89 and verse 7, man.
Because so we go into Psalms 89 and 7.
Let's read that.
And it reads, God is greatly to be feared in the assembly of the saints.
Read that again.
God is greatly to be feared in the assembly of the saints.
So guess what, man? All the turn up we do, guess what? We got to still fear the Lord.
That's right.
In the assembly of the saints, we still got to turn up in the name of the Most High, man. Right? Because guess what? You try to tell brother, sister, you can't hang with the big dog. Hey, if you can't drink like that, don't do it. Don't do it. Because everybody can't hang like that, man. Everybody just can't hang. Because that's why you see some brothers and sisters, they get up the next day, boy, they like they ate a box of rocks. It'd be hard for them to function. And when they in the middle of the tabernacle, hard to function. Get what, man? But you'll see the spirit on them, man. You know what I'm saying? So we got to make sure that we got to be fearing the most high, like you say, in the assembly of the saints, man.
That's right. Respectably, knowing that you still got fear. Because that's what happens a lot of times. A lot of times that fear leave. You get them shots and your fear go out the window. You done forgot about fear. Fear should always be in your mind. The fear of the Most High God should always be in your mind. And what do we have to remember us, to remind us of that? Huh? Fringes. I saw you talking about it last night. Like I looked down at my friend like, nah, I can't do this. Hey, you get them drinks in your hand and hey, look at your fringes, man. It's for remembrance, man. Not too much.
Fringes.
I saw Sister, I think Sister Mary. She said, well, now let me start drinking this tea. Yeah, I'm done. 2 for me. All praises. Know your limit. Know that you still got fear of the Most High God that you have to keep, man.
That's right. That's right. That more been up on. It's been off.
Oh, the connection.
Yeah, it's off. Let's read verse 7 again.
The book of Psalms, chapter 89, verse 7. God is greatly to be feared in the assembly of the saints, and to be had in reverence of all them that are about him.
So guess what, man? It's got to be a reverence of everybody. If you about the Most High God, guess what, man? You better act like you about him, man. Guess what? He said, when I move, you move.
Just like that.
Just like that, right? Just like that. Did you, It was. Okay. Yeah. You gonna touch on it right quick.
Let's go to the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 1. Like we said, we even had brothers keeping these things basically while they was at war with the Greeks. So these things are, like we say, very, very important. And like we said, they didn't make the excuses. They didn't make the excuses. Guess what? They had the Most High God with them. Like I say, that's why it's very important to go over this history, man. Read and understand what our forefathers went through just to keep the tabernacles. This was real turmoil.
Turmoil.
Thank you, brother.
I know that one.
You know. So this is real thing, not just little things that get in our way. No, they was literally at war, losing their lives. So we don't want to make excuses about not keeping tabernacle. Start at verse. Nah, I want to read verse 3.
The book of 2 Maccabees.
No, I was just because you can show them that they did actually keep it first. Okay. 10. But we go with that first. We know they're going with that.
2 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 3. And give you all in heart to serve him and to do his will.
So the Most High God has given us the heart to serve him and to do his will. We know what his will is. Read on out.
With a good courage and a willing mind.
And that's the key, man. We have to do this thing with courage and a willing mind. I know a lot of times brothers and sisters may be fearful to keep the commandments, man. You know, to ask for those days off. Like we say, hey, if it's according to the Bible, remember, it's nothing that the Most High God won't do for us or put on our enemy spirit to let us have these things when you read it in the book of James, man. We cannot have fear in trying to keep God's commandments, man. Because like we say, we're really preparing for this, for Jacob's trouble. That's why we got the tabernacles. You brothers and sisters may have to be on the run, man. And all you do have is your tent to set up, man. In spite of all the tribulations and guess what? Setbacks, we still got to push through, man. Read on up.
Verse 4. And open your hearts.
And do what?
And open your hearts.
Read on.
In his law.
And open our hearts in his law, meaning open our understanding, open up our spirit, man. Read on.
And open your hearts in his law and commandments.
Read on.
And send your peace.
And that's how we get peace, man. Read on.
And hear your prayers. And be at one with you.
That's how the Most High God hears our prayers, and that's how he's at one with us. If we're striving through tribulations to keep his commandments. Read on.
And never forsake you in time of trouble.
And that's the key right there. If we're doing those things, the Most High God would not forsake us in the time of trouble, man. We done seen trouble on all sides, man. But guess what? We're still here, man. Read on.
Verse 6. And now we being here, praying for you. 169th year. Shalaki. Verse 6. And now we being here praying for you. What time as Demetrius reigned in the 169th year.
Read on.
We the Jews wrote unto you in the extremity of trouble.
In the what?
In the extremity of trouble.
Going into what? When we was in captivity. Going into the Greek captivity. Under Antiochus. Going into Demetrius, like how we just named. How these brothers was, guess what? Still striving to keep the commandments, man. Keep the Feast of Tabernacles. Just think about us. We on the run. We got nations after us. And guess what? Our people still have a willing mind to, guess what? Prepare to keep the tabernacles, man. While trying to fight off brothers, man. Trying to, guess what? Watch out for the women and children. They fighting on multiple fronts, man. Brothers really got to think about these things. Sisters got to think about these things too. That's why it's very important that sisters be in order. If husbands is saying something, y'all got to move. Y'all got to move, man. You don't need to be going back and forth with your husband, man. Even for the single sisters, man. Read on.
Verse 7. What time as Demetrius reigned in the 169th year, we the Jews wrote unto you in the extremity of trouble that came upon us in those years, from the time that Jason and his company revolted from the Holy Land and kingdom.
So this is going into a wicked one of our brothers. Wicked. Conspiring with the other side. It says, read that part again out.
Of trouble that came upon us in those years, from the time that Jason and his company revolted from the Holy Land and kingdom.
And the kingdom. The Holy Land is what? Jerusalem. Revolted from his people. Read on.
And burned the porch.
Read on.
And shed innocent blood.
So guess what? They was literally out there gunning and killing us. Read on.
Then we prayed unto the Lord.
Then we did what?
Then we prayed unto the Lord.
Read on.
And were heard.
And were what?
And were heard.
That's why it's pivotal that we keep those first 3 verses. Making sure that we have a willing mind and doing it without a fearful spirit, man. So when we throw up those prayers and ask the Most High God for that safety, guess what? He'll hear us, man. Read on up.
We offered also sacrifices and fine flour.
And that's what we're doing today. We're doing what? Spiritual sacrifices. Brothers going out there to the blocks, hitting the corner Sabbath in, Sabbath out, doing flyer missions, man. Brothers literally doing classes every day. Sisters have their part too, man. Read on up.
And we offered also sacrifices and fine flour, and lighted the lamps.
Read on.
And set forth the load.
Read on.
And now see that ye keep the Feast of Tabernacles in the month Caslu.
Read that again.
And now see that ye keep the Feast of Tabernacles in the month Caslu.
Any brother know what month is Caslu? What month? What number month? What month is it, man? We want to know who's studying, man. You got your calendar? The what up? And I ain't finna tell it either, because we want to make sure brothers are studying, man.
And we done said this over and over.
8th month, going into the 9th.
I just said 8 months.
You didn't sound too sure. Was you sure?
I was sure.
All praise then. It's on there. Look on the calendar. It's the 9th month.
The 9th month.
Oh, look. They had to keep it 2 months later.
That's right.
Because they was on the run from the Greeks, man.
That's right.
And from our own people. Because don't be deceived. Some of our own people gonna come after us, man.
That's right.
Mamas, daddies, the people that we so trying hard, earnestly to teach this truth to, They'll come against us in this thing when things really hit the fan, man. Brothers and sisters, write those things down. Read that again, verse 9.
Verse 9, the second Maccabees chapter 1. And now see that ye keep the Feast of Tabernacles in the month Caslu.
So they had to keep it 2 months later, man. That's how dedicated our people was, man. So you can just imagine those previous 2 months, they was really catching hell, man. Lord, please forgive us. Save us from this, so guess what? We can do your will, man. And guess what? The Most High God gave them that space, man. Gave them that little grace period. So they were able to keep that, man. That's how dedicated our people were. That's how dedicated we got to be in this time as well, man. Go ahead, Doc.
Let's go to First Maccabees chapter 10 and verse 21. Because they knew when. So it's like they already knew when the feast day was. They just couldn't keep it at that time, man.
That's right.
It wasn't that they did not know, because they did know when the Feast of Tabernacle was, right? Read this, First Maccabees 10 and 21.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 10, verse 21. So in the 7th month of the 160th year, at the Feast of Tabernacles, Jonathan put on the holy robe and gathered together forces and provided much armor.
So guess what? They knew when the tabernacles were. It was just they was on the run, man. Just like what Ak was going into, man. The thing is, like, our people have always kept the commandments. Guess what? But when we was discontinued from our heritage, guess what? All of that went out the door. So guess what? Now that we getting back into keeping these high holy days, now guess what? A lot of people think that this is abomination, man. Like, dang, what are y'all doing that for? We have always done this. It ain't there's just some new thing that we done. We have always done this. We just going back into practice of what we used to be at, right?
Righteous rehearse.
This is say righteous rehearsal going into what? Judges 5 and 11, man. Right? This is the reason why we do what we do, man. By keeping the commandment. Yes, sir. This is the reason why we do what we do, right? Let's go to Ezra chapter 3. We're almost out of here. Get back to the festives. But it's good to get in these precepts, man. I know brothers and sisters, man, we've been out here for a couple. I know some brothers and sisters been out here for 3 days. Was it 2 days, 3 days?
3 days.
You know. But guess what? And some brothers and sisters, it's good to get back in the precepts, man. Brothers and sisters, get lock them eyes back on them things again, man. Get that spirit back right, man, to finish this tabernacle out, right? Let's go to Ezra chapter 3 and verse 1.
It's the book of Ezra, chapter 3, verse 1.
Read.
And when the 7th month was come, and the children of Israel were in the cities, the people gathered themselves together as one man to Jerusalem.
So guess what? It said the children of Israel gathered themselves as one man. What does that mean? They was all on one accord, right? Guess what, man? And we gonna be seeing eye to eye in this thing. I mean, guess what? When your Mashiach Yahushua come back, we gonna be seeing eye to eye with the Most High like that again, man. We gonna all be on one accord, man. Because guess what, man? It's Christ that's gonna be gathering us, not no camp leader that think he can gather everybody. If somebody's talking like that, they off. You're not gonna be the one. Christ is the one that's gonna be gathering us, man. Guess what? And anybody that think they can go with some bugged out brothers thinking that they can, you try it if you want. You be right there with the bugged out crew, because you can't gather nobody.
Let's get a precept on that. Matter of fact, let's get a couple of precepts on that. No, we fight it on multiple fronts, man. Let's go to the book of Genesis, chapter 49. And verse 10. You know, a lot of times, like we tell brothers and sisters, Genesis is one of the hardest books of the Bible to break down. So you want to make sure when these things come out that you take these notes on these things. Because this is a prophecy concerning Christ. Remember, Christ comes in the volume of the book. So he's from Genesis to Revelations. Christians only think that he's in the New Testament. But he's throughout the whole Bible, man. When you get there, read that out.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 10.
Jump up to verse 8, Salakia.
Genesis 49, verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise.
Uh-huh.
Thy hand shall be in thy neck of thine enemies.
So this is the Most High God giving end time prophecies concerning the 12 tribes. Read on.
Thy father's children shall bow down before thee.
Uh-huh. Read on.
Judah is a lion's whelp from the prey.
From the who?
From the prey.
We're over here, and we are prey over here in this wilderness. We're lions whelp, meaning what? We're young pups. Even when we're coming back into this truth, what are we? We're young in the truth, babes in the truth. Read on.
Judah is a lion's whelp from the prey, my son.
Uh-huh.
Thou art gone up.
Thou art gone up. Read on up.
He stooped down.
Now, like we say, in the 50s and the 60s, we would stoop down, man. Read on.
He couched as a lion.
Uh-huh.
And as an old lion.
And guess what? Esau wore us out during the civil rights era. Made us into what? Into an old lion. Now we trying to guess what? Get that spiritual strength back. Read on up.
And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
Who is rousing us back up? The Most High God is. To keep his commandments, man. Read on up.
Verse 10, the scepter shall not depart from Judah.
And it's, guess what? It's making significance to who? It's going into Christ. The scepter. The scepter is a instrument that a king holds to show rulership. Read on up.
The scepter shall not depart from Judah.
And it's saying it's not departing from Judah, meaning what? Talking about Christ. Read on.
Nor a lawgiver from between his feet.
Read on.
Until Shiloh comes.
Shiloh's going into the peaceable one, also another term for Christ. Read on.
And unto him shall the gathering of the people be.
Read that last part again.
And unto him shall the gathering of the people be.
And unto Christ shall the gathering of the people be. Just like Captain Jerubbaal was saying, it's not one man. That's why it's multiple camps out here. Guess what? Gathering peoples on some form of level. But then when Christ comes, guess what? We giving all power and rulership to him, man. All of it, man. It all belongs to him. To set things in order, man. Like we say, it's no more camp division, no more this doctrine, no more that doctrine. We all going to be on one accord during that time. Now is not the time, brothers and sisters. Even for brothers and sisters that always want to know, why do this camp teach this? Why y'all celebrating this and that? Because it's the level of understanding that the Most High God is giving each camp. Some level of understanding is different. So when Christ come back, he said all those things in order. We don't never have to worry about that. Go ahead, Op.
Big con on that, man. Let's go back to Ezra chapter 3. Like Ox said, when Christ come back, he going to set those things back in order, man. All praise to the Most High for that, man.
That's right.
Because guess what, man? I'll say, for instance, it just give an honest take on it. Say, for instance, all camps come up under the Battle Axe banner. Then what Christ going to do when he come back? It ain't going to work, man. No, you're going to have to come up under Yahweh while Yahweh shot, man.
That's right. That's why they had 7 churches with 7 different names. They didn't name one church and everybody.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So it's going to be different camps.
And that's how it's going to be until the king come back, man.
Right.
Every time. That's how it's going to have to be. And we're going to have to accept it, man. But guess what? A lot of brothers sometimes, you can tell brothers, man, they might be dealing in something, man. Thinking they're going to be the one that's going to put the camp together. You're not going to be the one. And anybody person dealing in there, man, guess what, man? Guess what? Any person follow a person that's dealing in there, man, you got to check your own spirit, man. Yeah. Right?
That's too much, man. That's too much pride. You know, we're prideful people anyway. Mm-hmm. Christ had to come and put that Negro down, man.
For real, man. And that's just what will happen, man, if brothers don't shake their spirit on them, right?
That's right.
Let's go to Ezra chapter 3, man. Verse
2.
Verse 2. You can jump down verse 4 and get down to it. Verse 3.
Verse 3. Ezra chapter 3, verse 3. And they set the altar upon his bases, for fear was upon them because of the people of those countries.
Uh-huh.
And they offered burnt offerings thereon up unto the Lord, even burnt offerings morning and evening.
So guess what, man? They had fear upon them because they had countries that was coming up against Israel, man. Right? But watch this. Read that.
Verse 4. They kept also the Feast of Tabernacle, as it is written.
As it is written, read.
And offered the daily burnt offerings by number, according to the custom, as the duty of every day required.
So guess what, man? They kept the Feast of Tabernacles too. But while people was coming up against them, man, we always had things to come up against us, but guess what? We still pulled together to do what? to keep God's commandments, man.
That's right.
That's why it's got to be a joyful thing that we do this, man. That we keep God's commandments, right?
And in captivity. We're in captivity.
That's right.
That's right. That's exactly right.
That's the whole point of it. In captivity.
In captivity.
Shoot. That's the whole point of it. John chapter 15 and verse 11. Read that.
The book of John, chapter 15, verse 11. And he said, a certain man had 2 sons, and the younger of them said to his father, Father,
Hold on.
give...
John 15 and 11.
15 and 11.
Boy, I'm at Lou. Well, ain't no way, boy.
You know what's funny? I'm at them too.
Ain't no way, boy.
Going along with it.
That's crazy. Ain't no way, boy.
Prodigal
Shalaka,
son,
family. Shalaka.
That's that prodigal son.
The book of John, chapter 15, verse 11. These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full.
So guess what, man? This is what Christ is trying to explain to us, man. He said, man, these things have he spoken to us, man, that joy might be in us, man. So our joy can be full, man. We should be having, this is a time that we should be making memories, man. Guess what? We can look back on it like, dang, man, we had a good time, man. We really did. We enjoyed ourselves during this tabernacle. We can have these memories for days to come. You can, guess what? People growing older. Guess what? You can tell your grandchildren. They can tell they children. They can tell their children. It just making memories, man. This is what this time is for, man. To make memories, so we can bring. Guess what? To have these things to build upon, man. We love that. We should love to have this joy in us, man. Last precept, man. Zechariah chapter 14. And everybody should know this one. If you don't know, when we start reading it, you'll know it. Zechariah chapter 14, start at verse 16.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 14, verse 16. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations
Read.
which came against Jerusalem shall
Read.
even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
So guess what? It's making it plain. So everybody that's going to be remaining, this is a future prophecy, man. Everybody that's going to be remaining, not just Israel, all the nations, man, going to come and you're going to have to get down. Oh, and guess what? Like Benaniyah said, oh, they going to cleave. They going to cleave. They going to cleave to us, man. They ain't got no other choice. They going to cleave to us in righteousness. Guess what? They going to know that we are the ruling class, and they going to know that they are the lower class. They going to know their position, right? Because Christ going to beat them into submission, right? But watch this, read verse 17.
Verse 17. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King.
So he said, if they don't come up and worship the King during the tabernacle, right, read.
The Lord of hosts.
The Lord of hosts, read.
Even upon them shall be no rain.
That means he going to starve them out. He going to starve them out if they don't come up, man, to keep this tabernacle, man. Right? Read.
And if the family of Egypt go not up
and
come not, that have no rain, that shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the feast of the tabernacle.
So guess what? The Most High God gonna be killing me.
COVID-12.
To my for real. COVID on steroids. He gonna be starving them out, man. He gonna be killing them, right? Read on.
19. This shall be the punishment of Egypt and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the feast of
So
tabernacle.
you play with the Most High God if you want, man. You gonna hey, like the Lord said, you gonna get down with these laws or you gonna lay down, right?
Get laid down.
Get laid down for real. Okay, we said, thanks for brothers and sisters that's tuning in, man. Like and share the video. Help us push this truth around the four corners of the earth. We said keep God's law, statutes, and commandments. We're gonna go to Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 34 and through 36. This is the law for the day. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 34 to 36.
The law, Leviticus chapter 23, verse,
You go ahead. You can read that.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 34. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of this 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles, for 7 days unto the Lord. On the first day shall be an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Read.
On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation. And ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
So guess what? This is going into the Feast of Tabernacles, man. What we doing right now, man. All praise to the Most High for brothers and sisters tuning in. Hope brothers and sisters got edified, huh?
It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein.
Big con. And with that, we're going to take the long.
Shalom, shalom, Israel. Happy Feast of Tabernacle. Any questions, brothers and sisters? Any questions?
Tap the screen. Cut it off.
Yeah, just turn it off.
Yeah,
Any questions? Got some hands raised back there in the back? Yeah, it's about to go everywhere. What you got, Sister Naomi? Say that again. She said when you get